Shivani, is there clarity? We know just a very few select personnel of the NIA will get to question him. The legal team, of course, his legal team, and I'll come to Nalini, whether we have details about who is representing him, what kind of legal team does he have access to, and we're looking at images of senior police officers perhaps on their way to the NIA headquarters, as we can see in those images. We're also showing you live images from the airport, police on standby. In moments from now, the cavalcade will be out en route en route the NIA headquarters. But Shivani, bring us details. Who all have access to Tahawwur Rana?
Gaurav, Tahawwur Rana, he is already in the custody of the special team of NIA officials who have accompanied him from United States to India. Certainly, they will be in close access to Tahawwur Rana, and the team of the NIA, when he will be reaching here, they will have access to Tahawwur Rana. The limited access will be very important to know about because, you know, the legal team, of course, will be in touch with Tahawwur Rana. The NIA officials who will be investigating and who will be questioning Tahawwur Rana will get access. But then also we have to keep in mind the protocols, because he's been extradited from the United States, and we have to follow the protocols of the US agencies also, because this has been a combined extradition in coordination with the US, where India has brought Tahawwur Rana to India, and now we have to follow those protocols. So we have to check and see that who all will be getting access. But certainly in initial weeks, he will be in the custody of NIA, as the Law Ministry has already approved that the NIA should investigate the matter, and NIA will be investigating it in Delhi, though he can be moved to other places also while this investigation is on. But certainly after he's produced before the court, NIA will be taking his custody, and the few select officials from the NIA will get access to him, and also the legal team, as you were mentioning, Gaurav, the legal team plus the NIA officials will get access to him, and the security that will be accompanying him all the time while he's moving exposed.
Oh, absolutely. And the National Investigation Agency begins the process of taking him in custody. That's the cavalcade that's moving. Watch these images. That is the cavalcade that is now moving out. Of course, that is Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh is what I'm learning. Rajnath Singh was out. He was delivering a lecture earlier today at the Defence Services Staff College, and you realize that the moment you noticed the cavalcade of vehicles, and of course the tricolour on Rajnath Singh's vehicle. He just delivered a lecture at the Defence Services Staff College in Wellington earlier this morning, where he spoke of the upcoming threats the nation faces and how the geopolitical threats are only intensifying, and how the world needs to unite to take this. So NIA, we are told, has initiated the process of arresting Tahawwur Hussain Rana. Amit, what is the legal procedure? How does this process now move forward?
Gaurav, we were just discussing as to how the moment he lands in India, on the Indian soil, the first process that will be carried out is NIA will put him under arrest and keep his custody. So that is the process for that is being carried out right now. The sources have confirmed India today that NIA, the National Investigation Agency, is putting him under arrest soon after this particular process and the paperwork is over. Remember, he will be taken out in a very protected manner, possibly one of the most secure person in Delhi today, and he will be taken to the NIA headquarters in most likelihood. But there are always possibilities keeping the security angle into context whether any safe house will be preferred. But as of now, it looks like that after he is put under arrest, the process is still going on. He will be taken to the NIA headquarters, and from there, in most likelihood, first to carry out the medical checkup, which is because remember, India is a democratic nation, and we go by the law of the land, and that options, the legal procedures are also equal for those facing very severe criminal charges, whether it be the terror attack accused as well. So in this particular case as well, all those SOPs will be followed up. Arrest, after that medical process, then virtual, in most likelihood he will be produced in front of the court virtually. The judges and the legal team of the NIA is already on standby. Narendra Man is the advocate who will be representing. He is the special public prosecutor for the NIA. And also one very important thing, Gaurav, he has been put in the place, Narendra Man has been put in place for NIA for this particular case for the span of 3 years. That also shows the intention of the central government and the agencies, National Investigative Agency, that they want to close this particular case within that span of time, or maybe even earlier, unlike what we saw the years of wait for Ajmal Kasab's hanging, and the trial went on for several years. So in this particular case, it seems like the Indian government and the Indian agencies have a clear-cut clarity that they want the decision, the trial and the decision, the judgment to come as soon as possible. Back to you.
There are multiple gaps in the investigation so far since 26/11, because we all know what happened in India. We all know what Kasab mentioned because he was arrested and interrogated. We all know what David Coleman Headley said. But Nalini, there are many questions that India still wants answered, and those are very important questions about the higher direction given for this so-called Ghazwa-e-Hind war on India by Pakistan's deep state, ISI, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hafiz Saeed, Major Iqbal. There are many names. You've been through those legal papers. What is the case that India has built, Nalini?
Well, Gaurav, since we're talking about Tahawwur Rana, let's focus on the aspects of Tahawwur Rana that have been mentioned by the NIA against Tahawwur Rana in their case. And essentially what they're saying is that he was a key link between the LET as well as David Headley, especially during the times when the entire attack was being planned, to the extent that Tahawwur Rana himself had travelled to India between the 11th of November and the 21st of November. Just 5 days before the attack, he had left Mumbai, and he was in India during this time, working out the logistics and planning out the attack, the final days of the attack. Another interesting thing that we've been told is that it was Tahawwur Rana's contacts who were arranging all the things for David Headley while he was in India, including his conveyance, his logistics, all the financial support that was being provided to David Headley. And David Headley and Tahawwur Rana was so closely connected that David Headley had travelled all the way to Chicago to meet with Tahawwur Rana before he had come to India, to discuss the plan with him and to formulate the entire strategy of how they are going to get David Headley into India. Not just once but multiple times his visa was extended. He had multiple entries on a 10-year visa that was granted to him in 2007, and all of those things were worked out with Tahawwur Rana. So there is no aspect of the planning in the 26/11 case that Tahawwur Rana himself is not aware about, despite the fact that he was in Chicago. So he is going to be a key link that the NIA has now got in their hands regarding the attacks, and there might be several other chains or information that has not come out into the public domain yet regarding the attacks, which might come out now with Tahawwur Rana being extradited back to India and the NIA being given a chance to actually officially question him regarding the role he played. So what kind of details emerge is something that we will know only in the coming days.
That's a very important point. That's a very important point that you're raising, and I want you to pursue it for a moment. So Tahawwur Hussain Rana, you say, and investigations so far have said it was Tahawwur Hussain Rana's contacts in India who arranged logistics, who arranged funds for David Coleman Headley for the recce missions or the reconnaissance missions that David Coleman Headley carried out in India, including the National Defence College in Delhi and multiple other locations. Do we have details, or do investigators have details of who these local contacts in India were, or is that the interrogation going to focus on the moment the interrogation begins?